Hello and welcome to your Club Everton Daily. The date is Saturday, the 7th of January 2012, and we are just hours away from our FA Cup tie against Tamworth. The magic of the FA Cup is in the air. Of course, I'm not feeling it as much because I'm in Leeds and they're playing away this weekend. Well, actually, they're playing on Monday against Arsenal. But, whatever. I'm still looking forward to seeing our match against the Lambs. And it'll be interesting to see how things go down, especially considering how we performed against Bolton. Yeah, it's going to be interesting in a morbid way, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, well anyway, what we're going to cover in our daily, we're going to round up the news and go through the transfer gossip. And our article today, still got to get used to this daily format, is Betting Revelations Make Italian Football a Laughing Stock, and that is written by Jeff Bradford from When Saturday Comes Online. Yes, I know I use When Saturday Comes a lot, but it is really a very good magazine and website, so definitely recommend you go and have a look at it. Alright, well, shameless plug over. Let's get into the news. The first one is just the team updates ahead of the match. There was every chance David Moyes could have named the experimental team for this side, but seeing as the likes of Jack Rodwell, Phil Jagielka and Leon Osman are all injured, he might not really have a choice but to do that today. So obviously the likes of Conor McAleny, Maguire, Apostolos Velios and Ross Barkley all be looking forward to the opportunity to shine on the big stage today. However, we could also see the likes of Victor Anichebe and James McFadden getting into the squad. Whether that's a good thing or not, you decide. Right, well, anyway, our other news pieces, a couple of transfer rumours. AEK Athens director of football is claiming that several clubs, including Everton, are looking at Kostas Manolas. He said, I know that Everton are interested. They followed the player and there's a serious interest but nothing official so far. He's played his whole career at AEK. He's made 5 appearances for the Greek under-21 team in that time. He was included in the 30-man provisional World Cup squad for Greece, however he didn't make the final 23. We're also apparently joining Bologna and Cesena for the transfer of Luke Castellanos from Inter Milan. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. The Netherlands under-19 international is unhappy with his lack of first-team opportunities at the San Siro and after getting his big move from Feyenoord in the summer. 19 years old, he's a striker with a goal-scoring record of 15 and 37 for Feyenoord, and that's what made him a wanted man in Europe before Inter swooped in for him. Right, so that's Everton transfer news. We've got to have general one coming up in a minute as well, but before we get onto that, we said we were waiting for reports on how long Jagielka's been out. We've got that now, and it is going to be 6 weeks. He injured medial ligaments in his knee during the Bolton match. Moyes said to lose him is a massive blow because he's an integral part of the defence. It leaves us short centre half. We are looking, but it'll be more than likely in the loan markets. There'll be more on that in a couple of weeks, possibly on the podcast. Right, so that's about it for the news. So we'll run down the transfer rumours. Again, it's from the gossip section on the BBC. They quote various sources. We're going to do the same. The Cunt Rag reports that Paul Scholes was ready to answer an SOS from Man United boss Sir Alex Ferguson and come out of retirement. Metro reports that Tottenham have emerged as contenders for the signature of Juventus winger Milos Krasic after it was initially thought he would go on loan to Chelsea in January. The Mirror reports that Harry Redknapp also wants £10 million rates of Fulham forward Moussa Dembele and could offer Nico Cranchard in part exchange. Talk Shite reports that QPR are set to go head to head with Tottenham for the services of Blackburn star Junior Hoylett, who's available for the cut price £7 million. Since when £7 million been cut price? That's like 6 years worth of transfer budget to us now. The Cunt Rag reports that West Brom boss Roy Hodgson hopes to sign Dundee United midfielder Scott Allen next week. The Racist reports that Demba Ba, who is headed to the African Cup of Nations with Senegal, has put England's top clubs on red alert after it emerged that he has a £10 million release clause in his Newcastle contract. Why wasn't Victor called up? One player Harry Redknapp will not be signing is Santos star Ganso, says Talkshite. Spurs have been linked with the 22-year-old Brazilian, but the Spurs manager admitted he's never heard of him. Manchester Evening News reports that Gary Cahill will miss the FA Cup third round trip to Macclesfield and could be a Chelsea player by Sunday, according to Bolton boss Owen Coyle. The Mirror reports that Arsenal are looking at Lyon defender Alai Shishoku as they see a left back on loan. As they seek a left back on loan to help cope with a rash of injuries at fullback. The Daily Racist ironically reports that the Red Shites have been holding talks with the representatives of Colombian international striker Jackson Martinez, who could make an £8.5 million move from Mexican side Dragões. I know I've pronounced that wrong as well. The Guardian reports that Everton manager David Moyes has had to rethink his transfer strategy after defender Phil Jagielka was ruled out for 6 weeks. Moyes had been in the market for a striker, and he still should be, because that's the one position we desperately need cover for. Rangers were last night poised to win the race to sign St Johnstone striker Francisco Sandaza on a pre-contract agreement, having met the Spaniard's wage demands for summer switch to Ibrox, says the Daily Mail. And the Cut Rag reports that Harry Redknapp has ruled out a January transfer move for Celtic winger James Forrest. In other news, Man City manager Roberto Mancini has expressed concern at the spending limitations being placed on him and declared that his club needs to buy again now if they are to drive home their ascendancy. That's from the Independents. Wonder why he's going to play about not having any money to spend. Anyway, London Evening Standard reports that Thierry Henry says returning to Arsenal is not about being a hero but a glorious opportunity to represent the club he loves again. Goal.com reports that Tottenham will hold talks with Mayor of London Boris Johnson to discuss an £18 million final offer from the public purse to fund the club's planned stadium development. So according to Goal.com. Cutrag reports that Rangers owner Craig White has warned supporters that Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs is refusing a compromise deal over its £40 million tax case against the Scottish champions. And the Daily Record reports that Rangers manager Ali McCoy says that owner Craig White has promised some funds for a new striker this month, even if Nika Jelavic is not sold. According to the Daily Record. And finally, and actually is just one this from the Metro, Joey Barton has threatened to quit playing Football Manager, the computer game, because his own in-game character is annoying him so much. Yeah, that's newsworthy. Right, well anyway. I think we'll have enough time. Our closing article, our article of interest for today. Betting revelations make Italian football a laughing stock. And here comes a festival of mispronunciation, ladies and gentlemen. Following the interrogation of Luigi Sartor on December 29th, the second phase of Betgate took a short break, with the inquiry due to resume. Well, it resumed on Wednesday. It's time to take stock of the situation. The new revelations have confirmed the gravity of the scandal, largely thanks to the partial confessions of Cristiano Dononi, Filipino Carobio, and Carlo Givasoni. There are now 7 clubs under suspicion from Serie A: Chievo, Genoa, Lazio, Leeds, Novara, Palmiro and Siena, and 5 from Serie B, plus others from lower down. The list is unlikely to end there. Players now include Lazio's Stefano Maori, the recently retired Nicola Ventola, and Chievo captain Sergio Pellissier. It's also been agreed that 3 2006 World Cup winners Kiki Buffon, Fabio Cannavaro and Gennaro Gattuso are invariable gamblers. Buffon is said to spend up to €200,000 a month on his habit. The judge leading the inquiry said their gambling habits are only of interest to him if they involve the alteration of sporting results, but the sporting judge might take a different view. It's emerged that the man operating in Italy for the criminal organisation behind all this is Almir Gegic, 32-year-old Bosnian-born Turkish citizen currently in hiding. He was playing for Chisasso in Switzerland, just over the border from Como. So, after fixing many games in Switzerland, he took advantage of the fact that a number of Italian players are currently with the leading clubs of the Swiss-Italian Ticino province. In early 2009, Matteo Gritti, the goalkeeper of Swiss club Bellinzona, contracted Givasoni, who was then with Serie B team Albino Leffe, to tell him about Gegit. Givasoni claimed Albino Leif went on to sell their matches at Pisa, Salernitana and Frosinone in the spring of 2009. Givasoni says some of the players he tried to corrupt opted not to go along with the plan. None of them reported what was happening, so presumably that was more due to fear of being caught rather than any moral principle. Albino Leffe are also suspected of selling the end of season games against Ancona in 2009. They turned a 3-1 lead into a 4-3 defeat in 20 minutes. And Padova in 2010. Both Ancona and Padova stayed up as a result of those wins. I saw both games and was convinced they had been fixed. If you add the infamous Albino Leffe vs Piacenza 3-3 draw, which Givasoni says involved the directors of both clubs, you can see that Albino Leffe are in a fine mess. Whichever way you look at it, a lot of players under suspicion have at some time wore the colours of Atalanta. Given the frequency of which players change clubs, this may just be a coincidence. Even so, the club certainly has some questions to answer. The current sounds of club president Antonio Percassi is an added source of frustration to the fans. Italian football has become as much of a laughing stock as Italian politics was under Berlusconi. I used to think Albino Leffe was a model club. No more. I used to think that if you lived in Como, you could at least cross over to Switzerland and breathe the clean air of Swiss football. No more. There are now 95 different bets you can lay in a single match. How on earth can that be controlled? It's madness. The TV programmes and newspapers that give the impression of carrying on and unusual resemble more and more the orchestra that continues to play as the Titanic went down. So that's by Jeff Bradford from When Saturday Comes, and you can read that article at www.wsc.co.uk. Right, so that's it for today's daily, and I'm running out of time here, so I'm going to make the outro as brief as possible. Tomorrow's daily may seem a bit half-assed, but that's because we are actually going to be recording the main podcast tomorrow for the first time in months. If you want to be involved in that recording, either taking part or just listening to the madness live and uncensored, you need to be a member of Club Everton Forum, so you can sign up at www.clubeverton.co.uk/forum. Registration only takes 5 minutes. Once you're in there, you'll be able to find instructions on how to do that in Big Dunk's Pigeon Loft. Right, so that's it, and we're going to tell you how you can get in touch with us. First of all, you can go to our site, clubeverton.co.uk, find a site post with this daily on it, and leave a comment in the comments section. And we're also on social media, and I've actually gone to the trouble of arranging these properly on our site and our forum, so that I've got an easy reference, and it's with an easy click for all our users. We're on Facebook. Search for us on the Facebook search bar. You can find us there, or again, just click the link on our site. You can follow us on Twitter at Club Everton. Again, click the Twitter button on our site and it'll take you there. We're on Google Plus. Same again, click the button on our site and we'll take you there. We're also going to have links to all these in the description, by the way. Subscribe to Club Everton Daily on YouTube so you'll be the first to get the dailies as they come out. Don't forget also to subscribe to Club Everton Radio on iTunes. Again, there's a link in the description, and there's going to be a link on the site as well and on the homepage of the forum. So make sure you get that there. And I think that's all the links I've got to give you. Thanks a lot for listening, and I've got to finish. I keep forgetting this for some reason, even though it's one of the most important parts to me, this. But Club Everton Radio is brought to you by Hans Tours First Class Away Day Travel. For more information, visit www.hanstours.co.uk, or for ticket info, give Han a ring on 077 521 21395. Hans Tours First Class Away Day Travel. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow.